Why trying harder? Say and every action you take starts in the heart. Jesus once talked about how it's not what goes into a person that makes them unclean, but what comes out of them. He was pointing out that the problem isn't the internet or the person walking down the street or the phone in your hand. Those are just triggers. The real issue is the factory inside your chest that is producing those desires. True change starts with a spiritual new birth, or what some people call regeneration. It's not about you fixing yourself, it's about God giving you a new heart with new desires. The goal isn't to get to a place where you're really good at saying no to things you desperately want. The goal is to get to a place where you don't want those things as much because you want something else more. We want to move from I must not to I do not want to. Think about a kid who only eats candy. You can punish him, take away the candy, and force him to eat broccoli. He might do it, but he'll hate every second of it and eat a candy bar the moment you turn your back. But if that kid grows up and learns to love how healthy food makes him feel, his desires change. He chooses the healthy option not because he has to, but because he wants to. That's heart transformation. Why do we do this to ourselves? To get to that heart transformation, we have to ask a really uncomfortable question. Why are we drawn to sexual sin in the first place? It's usually not because we're just bad people. It's because we're looking for something. Sexual sin is often a form of misdirected worship. We have these deep, valid needs for intimacy, for affirmation, for comfort, and for escape. Those aren't bad needs. God built us to want those things. The problem is that we try to meet those needs through invalid means. If you're feeling lonely and bored on a Tuesday night and you turn to something you shouldn't on your screen, you're not just looking for sex. You're looking for a way to not feel lonely or bored. You're looking for a tiny hit of dopamine to make the stress of the day go away. In that moment, that behavior has become a god to you. It's something you look to for salvation from your bad feelings. We also use these things as a way to feel in control. Life is chaotic. You can't control your boss, you can't control your bank account, and you can't control the weather. But in a world of fantasy, you are the king or queen. You control everything. It's an escape from a reality where you feel powerless. Identifying these core longings is a huge part of the process. You have to be honest with yourself. When you feel that urge, ask, what am I actually hungry for right now? Is it rest? Is it to feel important? Is it because I'm angry? Once you name the lie, it starts to lose its power. Rewiring your brain and your mind. This isn't just spiritual stuff, though. It's also biological. Our brains are incredibly good at building habits. Every time you engage in a behavior, you're digging a trench in your brain. It's like a path in the woods. The more you walk on it, the wider and smoother it gets, until it's a massive highway. This is why it feels so automatic. Your brain is literally wired to take the path of least resistance. But the cool thing is that our brains have neuroplasticity. That's a fancy way of saying your brain can change. You can build new paths. This is what the Bible means when it talks about renewing your mind. It's not just positive thinking. It's filling your mind with things that are true and beautiful until the old paths start to grow over with weeds and the new paths become the ones you naturally take. Developing a theology of the body is a big part of this. We live in a world that tells us our bodies are just tools for pleasure, or just meat suits that we can do whatever we want with. But what if your body is actually a temple? What if it's a sacred space? When you start to see yourself and others as people made in the image of God, rather than just objects for your own satisfaction, the way you think changes. You start to value people more. You start to value yourself more. You realize that you were made for something way bigger than a 5-second hit of pleasure. You can't do this alone. One of the biggest lies about sexual struggle is that you have to fix it in secret. We think that if people knew the real us, they'd leave. So we build these walls. We become performance experts. We show up to church or hang out with friends and pretend everything is fine. But isolation is the breeding ground for struggle. It's like a mushroom, it grows best in the dark. If you want heart transformation, you have to break the power of secrecy. You need radical honesty. This means confessing not just your actions, but the state of your heart to God and to a few trusted people. And I'm not talking about accountability, where you just check a box once a week and say, yeah, I was good. That doesn't work. You need people who are going to ask you, how is your soul? Why were you feeling lonely this week? What are you running from? Vulnerability feels like a weakness, but it's actually your greatest strength. When you bring your struggle into the light, it loses its power. Think about a scary movie. It's always scariest when you can't see the monster. Once the lights come on and you see it's just a guy in a rubber suit, it's not that scary anymore. Talking about your struggles with others who actually care about you changes everything. We were never meant to carry this weight by ourselves. Staying the course. This process isn't an overnight fix. I wish I could tell you that you'll watch this video and never struggle again, but that's not how life works. Heart transformation is a process called sanctification. It's a long game. There will be days where you feel like you've taken 10 steps forward and days where you feel like you've fallen off the cliff. The key is gospel-centered repentance. Most people fall and then spend 3 days beating themselves up. They think that if they feel bad enough, maybe God will forgive them. But that's just more behavior modification. True repentance is turning back to God immediately. It's saying, Lord, I messed up. I see the rot in my heart. Please change me. And then getting right back into the light. Don't waste time in self-loathing. It doesn't help you. It just keeps you focused on yourself. You also have to learn the discipline of delight. You can't just stop doing bad things. You have to start doing good things that bring you real joy. What makes you feel alive? Is it hiking? Is it painting? Is it playing music? Is it serving at a soup kitchen? When you fill your life with God-honoring pleasures, the cheap counterfeits of sexual sin start to look boring. You start to realize how much you were settling for crumbs when there was a whole feast available. The ultimate goal. At the end of the day, why are we even doing this? It's not just so you can feel clean or so you can have a better reputation. The goal is freedom. But not just freedom from something. Freedom for something. You are being freed from the chains of your own desires so that you are free to love God and love other people well. When your heart is transformed, your relationships change. You can look at people with genuine care instead of wondering what they can do for you. Your intimacy with your spouse or your future spouse becomes deeper because it's built on selflessness rather than consumption. You start to live for a glory that is much bigger than your own comfort. You realize that you are a part of a massive story that God is writing, and you don't want to miss it because you were distracted by a screen or a passing thought. This journey from behavior modification to heart transformation is the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's the only thing that actually works. It's the difference between a prisoner who is only good because there's a guard watching him and a person who is free because they finally found a home where they belong. Don't settle for the tape on the dam. Let God rebuild the whole thing from the inside out. It takes time, it takes honesty, and it takes grace. But the freedom on the other side is worth every single second of the struggle. If you're tired of the cycle, stop trying to fix the outside. Turn around, look at your heart, and ask for help. You weren't made for the shadows. You were made for the light. Check out this next video to learn how to practically build those new habits in your daily life.